Hello guys, back again here with Burak for the second part of this interview. The first part was only uranium. It took a bit longer, but doesn't matter at all because uranium is absolutely looking fantastic, also according to Burak. So I agree completely. Now we will look into gold and silver, oil, and then the indices. So Burak, without any further ado, let's just take it away. Take it away.
Okay. So let's start with gold then. Gold topped right here. I think in the previous video that we made, Caspar, we also talked about this. And the big question is how far it's going to pull back. So this double resistance, the red and the green, so that was around 2070. We pulled back from there, and it has been coming down. So it met basically it hit 1900 twice or three times recently, and there is a gap here. This is what I have been eyeing. But the more time it spends around there, and it's especially if this golden downtrend breaks, and this is a bull flag in the making. So I'm not by any means a bear, like I'm not a perma bear or perma bull of anything. I always we're all traders and swing traders. So gold can be shorted, gold can be bought. It's just depending on the market. Obviously, this red giant bull flag, once it's broken, especially this red, the red top band above 2070, then it's going to be an unstoppable bull market. As simple as that. But until then, where are we going? So I'm going to talk about on the 4-hourly chart here. You can see this golden downtrend is very much very precise, as good as it gets. If this golden top band breaks, then I'm going to abandon my opinion that we're going to fill the March 1865 gap. Okay, this is in March 1865. This is the futures chart, but it also around 1875 actually. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I think maybe spot is 1865. It doesn't matter. There is on the 13th of March, this market opened with a big gap and it never got filled. So, on the uranium video, we talked about it. So gaps matter? I believe they do, but I believe they do matter only on the markets that are traded by masses, which means Forex, which means commodities, which means indices, but on individual stocks, much less, maybe not at all. So this golden downtrend is still targeting 1865. And I was thinking, quite honestly, that because it got the chance to come to that level inside the blue downtrend, I thought it's going to get to that level, fill the gap, and then we shoot up from there. But that's not what it did. It basically broke out that blue top band also, like initially it held and then broken. And the golden internal resistance, look at this. This is a beauty. So this here and support, and finally broken, resistance, but then that resistance is broken again, and it held as support one more time. So are we going to go up all the way to the golden top band, which is at 1955, 1960? Most probably, yes, because we're out of this blue, and there is a good chance that we're going to get to, if we go all the way there, inside the bear flag, right? So this is a kind of what I'm going to show you is a little bit of a scenario, okay? So this red channel, if we get to that level and touch the golden and red together, so if it gets to that level around 1960, just below 1960 on the futures, again, I repeat, this is futures chart. If it gets to that 1960 level, like gets there, pulls back, like inside this, and then we reverse from there to break that red, then I think inside the golden downtrend, we may still get to that gap fill. So what I'm trying to say is gold is not out of the woods yet in the short to medium term, because this golden downtrend is still on. Silver, this is a giant, so please disregard all these lines. I'm going to explain. I think what we have here is right, a giant bull flag in the making, or potential bull flag. So this here is the COVID low, which was, which bounced off the golden support. Then you can see this golden internal resistance was, it was holding and then was finally broken. And we came for a back test. Look at this. This beautiful resistance that was broken, and initially it was broken, but it never came back for a back test. But after 2 years, it came for a back test right there. This is as good as it gets. Markets have memory, and lines can help us to basically identify or address those memories. So what do we have here? I think if it runs, the golden top band is a potential major resistance at around $30. Okay, so that if silver gets to that level, I would be very worried. I would be not worried about, I would be very careful for a major reversal. So that golden top band, because the internal and the bottom band are amazing. So that's like as precise as it gets. So which means that golden top band may turn into a major resistance at around 30. Too early, obviously. I'm only saying that if it gets to around 29.30, I'd be very careful. Okay. So the blue, obviously, after a while, if that golden top band holds and then we break out, that would be a giant, well, this is 2011 high. So this is a really, really long-term consolidation by silver. Unlike gold, silver hasn't touched its high of 2011. So it's a big, it's lagging badly. And this sideways consolidation, obviously, it has to be, resolved either to the upside or downside. My bet is going to be resolved to the upside eventually, but it's just going to take its time. So on the 4-hourly chart, let me talk about a little bit more on the short term. Well, medium term, that way, because this is September of 2012. This is the one that I mentioned, that golden support. Okay, that was touched. Right, just go back to that one. That golden support, that's around 1750. When I switch it to the 4-hourly, my platform doesn't show that golden, but it's that one, 1750. Okay, so this black support line, right, that rail and the top band, that rail held just at this very recent low, and I mentioned that on Twitter. But initially we broke that golden support, and that caused a 10% decline. So that golden support rail actually was a beautiful support with 3 touches. Once it was broken, it was a kind of a waterfall. It came all the way to that black bottom band, and we bounced off that level. We broke out of the blue downtrend right there. 2 touches, actually 3 touches on that. And then we finally broke it, back tested, and it rallied. What do we have here is that green bottom band just got tested. That is beautiful, right? I put this as a green potential support, and there is also this red internal, right? So my target at the moment for silver for the short term is that it's going to stay inside this green uptrend. It's going to get to that red top band at around 25, maybe just below 25. And then we may again see a big reversal if that green uptrend breaks. So I'm going to remove the blue because that's done. If this green one breaks, I think we're going to see a really big sell-off again inside the red and come all the way to that red bottom band, because that black bottom band may break. So that's already tired. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? It's a very tired support. If it comes to that support again, I think it's going to break it. So there is a good chance that it will break. On the bullish side, it has to break that red top band, but the red channel is not a channel yet. It only has two touches on the bottom, only 1 touch at the top. Excuse me, just the other way around.
Yeah.
on the top, one touch at the bottom. So to me, if it comes down, the red bottom band would be the obvious target. To add to silver, it's here, that is the gap, okay, on the 13th of March. And that level on the futures is around 2060. So if that gap is going to get filled on gold, I think silver is going to do it too.
Yeah, makes sense.
Let's have a talk. Let's talk about oil. That black resistance couldn't be taken out. I think the obvious target, if that level breaks, we're going to get to that black top band, where we can see here, it tried to break that black sideways resistance, right? Level resistance, but it failed so far. This bull flag may be forming at the moment. So I'm going to switch to the 4-hourly. This bull flag may be forming here. 1, 2 touches on the top, two touches on the bottom. So if we break out, I think there is a good chance that it's going to get to that black top band, or sort of black internal. So you can see the bottom band. The obvious target would be around 95, which is that black top band. Okay, so that's my take. There was a sideways channel right here. I had deleted it, but it was a very nicely sideways channel.
Yeah.
That was broken and back tested. We may get another back test on that, but I'm gonna, well, basically it's something like this. Okay, we may get another back test on that. Right. Okay, so if it gets to that level, which is around just around 75, 74, you can see it was broken and back tested. That's the level. On the Brent oil, this purple downtrend, this is the COVID crash. Look at this beauty. I mean, 2 touches on the top, 2 touches on the bottom, and we shoot up from there, and it rallied, and it got to that, finally broke it, back tested. This is a giant bull flag from the highs of 2007, which means it eventually is going to get to 150. I mean, it already almost touched it. Did it touch it? 1 second. No, 147. Minimum target of Brent oil is 147. That eventually is going to happen, I believe. And what else do we have? On the short term, we have this blue top band that could act as a major resistance, okay? But it's similar to the US oil, that black resistance zone has to be broken. If it does break, maybe that blue top band holds, we pull back, and then a break to the upside. But you can see this was the break out of the golden sideways channel. We back tested it. I actually bought it right there. Nice. And then we rallied $6-7 from there. Indices, you mentioned about the indices. This is the S&P 500. I'm not going to talk about the very long term, but here it is. This bull flag, this is the high of 2021, November or something. This purple downtrend bull flag was broken and back tested twice. Yeah. So this back test held, and when bull flags from a new all-time high, bull flags break out, they deliver a new high. According, based on my experience, this market, this red uptrend, and you can see this green sideways channel was broken to the upside. We may get a back test on that, or it's going to rally inside the golden uptrend. It's not an uptrend yet. On the 8-hourly, we may touch it and then rally. And the obvious target for me is this is the previous all-time high, which is at 4,800. It's not even far anymore.
No.
I don't know why people would say, oh yeah, we can't go to a new all-time high. How far are we anyway? I mean, we were just 2 weeks ago, we were at above 4,600, which was only less than 200 points to go for a new all-time high. So I don't think it's quite probable that it's going to get to a new all-time high, and then we'll see whether it can keep on running or we have another big correction. That, we cross that bridge when we get there. The best bullish signal came from Dow Jones to me. This is the high of 2021. Again, end of 2021, it started to come down. 2 touches there before this high. So I'm going to talk about, this here, 2 touches, 1 touch here. It started coming down. So it came down, made this touch. Obviously, I didn't have a channel back then. But once it started coming down, you connect these 2 lines, and then you connect to the parallel. And this space, once it started to bounce and coming down, I said, okay, October lows are a major low. And that's here, that blue support rail or zone. Also, you can see it was a very big breakout. This is the COVID crash. Came all the way there, tried to break it, and finally broke out. And we came for a back test. So it's, to me, again, Dow Jones gave the best signal. This is a bull flag breakout from the highs. The bull flag formed from the previous highs, and that's why I believe we're going to get to a new all-time high, maybe in the couple of months that we have left for this year, but latest next year, I think we're going to get to a new all-time high. I know it's unthinkable. Many people think that we're in a recession, inflation, this and that, but this market is refusing to sell off. Even though, once we get into a correction, many people get really excited about the downside, but I believe there is more upside. It's just my take on this market. So on the short term, this is Dow Jones short term 4 hourly. That red support is broken, okay? But it's a very tough market, quite honestly. So look, this black rectangle was broken to the downside with this support zone. So I thought, okay, it's at least going to come to 34,000. That's why I shorted it. Came down to a new low, but then it shoot up. It's already broken back into the black, and it's forcing that red broken support right there. So it's very, very tough market, in my opinion, because of the volatility, nothing else. It's the uptrends or the trends, the long-term trends or lines are quite nicely done. It's just that volatility that is very, very hard to handle. So the obvious bullish signal by Dow Jones, it would be that it gets to that blue plus. So this is the failed bull flag right here. Okay, that blue bull flag failed to the downside, back tested. I think we can get another back test. That green top band holds, we come down, and if that purple bottom band holds, then it's going to shoot up again. That's the ideal scenario. So there is a major resistance here around 34,750-ish for Dow Jones. If we get there, we come down and then a break to the upside. That's the ideal scenario for the green bull flag. And last but not least is Nasdaq, and I believe this is the all-time high at 16,750, and just in July we were at 16,000. So it got really close to a new all-time high. We have this red uptrend, okay, with 2 touches on the bottom and 2 touches on the top, but from the October lows we also have this potential blue uptrend. So here 3 touches, that's where it reversed. If it comes down all the way to the green plus blue, okay, if that red one doesn't work and we come down to that blue plus green around 14,300, I expect a major support for it to start another big rally to get to a new all-time high. So that's Nasdaq. Yeah, that's gold, oil, and 3 major indices for you.
Yeah, superb. One question here: what happens? How do you change your view if that the blue uptrend, the lower rail, if that doesn't hold? What's your take on that one? Is that a major signal to the downside, I guess?
Yes, because it's obviously I'm watching on all the markets, so that's why, like, some people say, oh, I'm going to trade only on ES, or like S&P 500. I'm going to trade only Nasdaq. But sometimes Nasdaq doesn't show something and the others do, or vice versa. And that's why I follow S&P 500, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and Russell.
Okay.
All of them. Sometimes one of them gives a much better signal than the others. Just like I said, Dow Jones gave the best signal in October, at the October last year. It gave the best bullish signal, and all the others followed that signal. And for Nasdaq for me to change my mind, it would have to come down and maybe bounce a little bit off the blue and then
Then
break it to
collapse.
the
Yeah.
that would be a major break to me. At least for a deeper correction. Obviously, I would be watching that correction. Yeah, maybe a bull flag would form, etc. But for the short to medium term, I would definitely turn bearish. But at the moment, this to me, in the big picture, looks like a very tiny correction. Compared to this market. Look at this action. We had much deeper corrections since October, and this is a little correction from June, beginning of, well, it's actually only a month. This is mid-July. Yeah, we are past mid-August, so end of August.
Yeah.
It's just a normal correction to me at the moment.
Yeah, I'm also looking often at, 3 lower lows or 3 impulse lower lows. So maybe we can have one lower low here in that green bull flag, and then we take off.
Yes.
That's how I often look at it, to the upside or the downside, have the 3 impulses. So
yes, ideal scenario is that we have a touch on the red and rally, or we touch on the green plus blue and then rally.
Yeah.
They both of them would work. To me, I'm watching the red. I'm watching all these 3 potential support lines at the moment.
Okay. Nice. One question before I let you go, Burak. As I can see here, you don't use any indicators at all. How did you start with indicators back in the day, or how did you evolve into only using price action? How did that?
Good question. Indicators. I couldn't trade with indicators or moving averages or anything else because it's mostly the MACD, what is it called? Divergence, like negative divergence, positive divergence. They can be very misleading to trade. They can tell us momentum, this and that, but where do you put your stops, and where it's more like they can help you, and to see where the market is, where the momentum is, etc. But I worked on all of those, like from 2009. Initially, I looked into all of those, and only trading with only indicators or averages or this and that, it's very, very tough unless you have a really proven system. It's impossible to put for my money, put a stop if you're buying or selling based on a moving average or an indicator. An indicator can stay very negative for a very long time.
Yeah.
And it just it grows and grows, your losses I'm talking about. And where do you cut it? It's hard to trade with indicators and moving averages. It's just my experience. This is no judgment on anyone.
Yeah, I mean, I also try to keep it as simple as possible. I have the volume on the bottom just to see if we get some big volume spikes or anything, and then from time to time I have the RSI on the top. I don't use it that often. Only if you get very extreme readings, I'll get very cautious or bullish if it's to the downside. But I don't particularly trade it per se. So I have it on because I have had it for a long time, but I try to have it as clean as possible as well. And
kind of like my motto, it's also on my website, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication.
I agree.
So kind of like keeping it simple. And it's my how do I say, I don't have to be in a trade all the time, every time. It's just about setups. So I don't have to know what a certain market is going to do. It's all about reaction rather than action. So I react to lines. If if the price reacts to my lines, then I react to that.
Okay.
So, it's about setups rather than prophecies, rather than making predictions. So, let's say, as I said, if this red bottom band holds, and I would, of course, be looking into something like if it comes inside the downtrend and if it starts and breaks a resistance while after touching that red support, it would actually increase the probability of the trade playing out, nothing less. Sorry, nothing more. So if it gets to that green plus blue, right, this, green plus blue, double support. It's potential double support, obviously. But if it gets there inside the kind of a bull flag, and then bounces off that level and breaks out of the bull flag, that makes things very, very easy, because then you can put the stop right inside the bull flag or right below this double support after the bounce. So you don't need indicators to show me that there's a support here. Some people talk about order flow, this and that. I don't know about it, but for me, it's a combination of, it would be even better maybe to use a volume profile. Loads of traders use different stuff. In my case, I like the visuals of the market. I'm a very visual guy, so even though I'm an engineer and analytical, but I also like the aesthetics of things and visual stuff. And that's why I use the lines mostly.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. A good point on the stop, because it's very easy to place a stop if you're wrong in this specific scenario. So yeah, I completely agree on that. And yeah,
it's about exits, not entries. Trading is about, everything is about exits. And people think entries are more important. To me, exits are more important. Actually, exits decide whether you make a loss or a profit. And I still work on my exits. I'm not really good. I'm not really good enough for my taste. Not yet. Like I'm gonna work on the exits until I die. It's just a very, very tough thing. Because it's either, so there are two outcomes. You either take a loss or you take a profit, but mostly it's not enough profit. It's always, you're never happy. There's no happy ending in trading, right? You either take a loss or not enough profit. It's very, very rare that you take a nice, real fat profit and you're very happy with it. And there's no happiness. I don't think this business is about really happiness. And every day is a puzzle, and you keep trying to solve the same puzzle, ever changing puzzle, every day. So that's what makes it also very interesting.
Yeah, I agree. And actually, I've only one time hit the exact top of an exit. Otherwise, very often, they overshoot and so on. But only one time in my career, in quotes, I have hit it the exact top. So again, that's what I love about trading and charting is just you can work on you can improve yourself every single day, if you have the discipline and the what's it called? Yeah, you like what you do, right? So that's what I like to do. So
yeah, very much so. I like it.
Yeah, me too.
I was doing it for free for 3 years. I was blogging free from 2013 to 15, just because I love it.
Yeah, exactly. Same here. So yeah, Burak, I will not keep you up any longer. It's getting quite late at your place as well. Same here.
Yeah.
So I absolutely enjoyed what you've shown us, Burak. And as mentioned in the uranium video we just did before, hopefully we can get you on again in like a month or 2, 3, whenever we have the time. And maybe we can do it. We can do it again. So
yeah, I always like the dialogue. As I said, I don't, I do monologue video every morning for the members, but dialogue is always better.
Yeah, it is. Again, I love your take on the markets. Again, I've been very skeptical, reaching all-time highs in the indices. I still am, but maybe that's my inexperience with the markets and how they work. But yeah, there are definitely a lot of doom and gloomers out there. So that's maybe why I'm a bit of influenced by those people. But yeah, let's see how and where it takes us. And
it's just One last thing. Nobody's going to give me a medal if the market is going to get to a new all-time high, and nobody, like, it's all about, it matters. I don't know everything, and nobody knows about everything. What matters is if you make gains or losses, and it's just an ego thing, and we all have our egos. And sometimes I put a short on gold, and people have a go at me, like, it's just, but it's only for $20. Like, gold can sell off for $20, and
Yeah, easily.
why couldn't it be? Like, why can't you short gold? Like, all these emotions and all that. And if this market goes to a new all-time high, and if you're profiting, if I can't profit from it, what good is it for me? It's just, I'm going to say, yes, I knew it. I told it months ago. Did I make money out of it? Did I lose money in that? Well, it's all about trading. It's, being an analyst and being a trader are two different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up, Burak. Thank you very
Yes.
much again for getting on the show. And yeah. And guys,
Thank you.
again, if you'd like to have Burak on, let me know in the comments below so we can have him back on in, like, I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find the date. And have a great evening, everyone. Cheers.
Thank you, Caspar. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.